Paterson? All right, well, Robert, please invite Mr. Paterson to be present, and Mr. Paterson, you're now eligible to give your comments.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board. This is Bruce Paterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Resolution 327. Here's a resolution for more construction of the UC Dispatch Center, and you did talk about it, for another $3.3 million. In keeping track, this brings up the total dollars spent on the dispatch center to a huge amount of $9 million, and that's not including the operational costs. Whole buildings actually can be built for $9 million. This is what happens when you trust Union County government with a potentially good cause, but just it turns out to another costly boondoggle and a sad failure. So it ends up garnering no savings to the towns, and sadly too late to go back to the towns taking care of their own dispatch duties. At least a spark of good comes with resolution number 348 below, which the county is receiving a $150,000 grant towards a dispatch center. Resolution 328. This reso's wording needs clarification. It reads something like publication of notice for $3.6 million in college 2021 bonds for continuing disclosure of financial information in connection with electronic bidding. Since Commissioner Hudak is finance chair, the public would like him to explain just what is taking place here. Resolution 332 through 335. These all have to do with the Gordon Street Bridge, which I must commend you for taking on the task of replacing this orphan bridge that no one else wanted to do. In April, your Mr. Minio noted that the total bridge cost could be about $10.6 million, and it appears to be on track to that number. One question is, Reso number 332, this appears to be something called the Funds Exchange Program with the DOT for $9.5 million, and it was kind of explained to that, but unsure what it is, and it sounds like we are being granted $9.5 million free and clear, offsetting our costs. And I guess the last question on that is, was railroad construction still on as the contractor, and was that a competitive bid? Resolution 341, more money being dumped in the black hole of the Red Knot restaurant renovation at Gallagher Hill. This one, $67,000 for furniture. This pushes the total cost of renovation now towards $600,000 to a restaurant that was only open 7 years. The question we need to know is, what happened to all the existing expensive luxury furniture at the restaurant? This is turning into some boondoggle. Resolution 343. This one I can't believe it. We are spending nearly $80,000 just for design and administration services for the Caxton Memorial Azalea Garden at Warren Ankle Park. Question, how much total monies is this garden costing the taxpayers? Why couldn't the county DPW just plant a bunch of azaleas for $500 and call it a day? Where are the master gardeners or the Rutgers Cooperative? Just another costly boondoggle for the county government who can't even handle planting a garden. This one you have to vote no on, or at least exhibit some integrity of leadership. Resolution 347. You originally allocated about $3 million for a total mail-in election coming up, but now they're not doing it per the governor. How much will be actually saved going back to the pre-pandemic type voting? Also, general comments. We are looking at an executive session about potential litigation for our ADA audit and transition plan. Please give an overview to the public about this. As the final comments, that in this county, we residents, well, the ones that actually follow the county, see so many boondoggles and so much waste the county just keeps throwing money at to resolve issues. We found this county is run solely by politics, which results in profound ineptitude with an occasional good action thrown in. Perhaps the national push to have more women on board should result in better leadership and integrity. From the budget cycle, the county has a recurring free cash flow of over $100 million each year, and now will be even more with the closing of the county jail. Sadly, this money, instead of the certain amount going back to the taxpayers, is stolen by the commissioners to pay for their myriad boondoggles, waste, abuse, self-serving, and apparent inherent corrupted system that Senator Scutari, the county political boss, has created. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Patterson, let's move right on to answering some of these questions that have popped up. 327, Director Moran, can you address that, please?
Certainly, Chairman, through you, my calculations for our first dispatch expansion was 1.2 million. With this resolution, it's going to be a total of 4.4. I'm not sure where Mr. Patterson gets 9 million from, but this is absolutely, there's two reasons for a consolidated dispatch. One is to improve efficiencies in scarce public safety resources, which many agencies recognize. And the second is to for improved services. The dispatch center definitely cuts staffing on municipal levels by our calculations. Just out of the 14 agencies we dispatch for, we reduced, municipal agencies were able to reduce their staff by 11 personnel. And hard to quantify is dollars not spent. Agencies that come to us for 911 dispatch don't have to buy expensive equipment for computer-aided dispatch, for 911 systems, for communication systems. That's a little harder to quantify, but our municipal partners, weigh all that and make the decision to come to this county dispatch. And they see the value both in efficiencies and improved product. So.
All right, good answer, Director. Excellent. And those communities, I can assure you, that are taking advantage of the dispatch center are saving hundreds of thousands of dollars each year. So it's an exercise that's well worth continuing and expanding. And I applaud you in your efforts to establish this shared services group, and it now be in the process of expanding it. It's a great idea. Good work.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to
Go ahead.
just add to that, we have 5 towns now that we do full service for. That's police, fire, EMS, and 911 dispatch. We have 5 towns that we just do fire and EMS dispatch for, and 4 towns that we do medical call screening for and pre-arrival instruction. So it's a variety of services that we provide. Our municipalities weigh that and see what will enhance their operation, and then decide what their contract us for. So
Right, so a majority of towns are taking advantage of some fashion of the dispatch center, and that's a good thing. And as they get more comfortable, we've seen their different services expand to other agencies within their township. So
absolutely.
that's terrific, Director. Thank you for that additional information. I'm going to turn resolution 328 over to the finance chairman, who delivered a 0% tax to this county and is doing a terrific job. Commissioner Hudak, you want to tackle that?
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. The $3.6 million are Chapter 12 college bonds, which were certified in March of 2019 by the Board of School Estimates when we had our meeting that year. The same amount was adopted in the part of the county ordinance 808-2019, which was adopted on July 25th, 2019. The county received a letter from the state treasurer in January of 2020 awarding us our allocation of $3.6 million. And we were going to bond them as part of the 2020 bond sale. However, the county was then informed in May of 2020, when we were at the height of the pandemic, that due to the uncertainty surrounding the state budget at that time, the governor's office suspended the Chapter 12 program. So we received a follow-up letter in September 30th, 2020, stating the plan that the Chapter 12 bonds originally scheduled to be issued during the fiscal year 2020 can now be authorized for fiscal year 21 by June 30th, 2021. The county's college bonds Chapter 12 sale is scheduled for June 3rd, 2021. And this resolution authorizes to undertake the bond sale, and we will be using electronic bidding, which is the norm. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Nope, thank you, Commissioner. Keep up the great work. We'll move to 332. Director Graziano, can you try to answer some of that question best you can?
Sure, Chairman, through you. The question you have for 332, again, is regarding the funds exchange program with the DOT. So this is the actual agreement between us and the state for the money, for the $9.5 million that we're going to be getting for this project. The other question he asked was, is railroad construction still on the job? And yes, they are. They are still the contractor of record. They will be performing the construction on the project, and we are getting granted $9.5 million. We will getting, the bridge isn't costing the county anything except for the relocation of the utilities. That's it. That's the only thing that's out of our pockets.
Okay. Director, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, Director Zuber or Director Sanchez on 341.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the furniture the existing furniture that was at Red Knot will be stored at the Galloping Hill Golf Course in the main building and will be reappropriated at need be at other facilities throughout the county.
Very good, thank you. Director Zuber, do you wish to discuss the garden in Warnaco Park?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. First, a little background. The Azalea Garden at Warnaco Park was first installed and designed by the Olmsted Brothers firm, and it was installed in 1946. At that time, it had 57 varieties of plants, and it had over 3,500 plants throughout the years. When I first started in parks, it was actually a permanent area for pictures, weddings, family photos, christenings, everything was taken over there. However, in 2012, we lost our horticulture department. They were taking care of it. On top of all the other work to be done on that side of the county, that crew was trying to take care of the Azalea Garden also. And it fell into a little bit of disrepair. We're trying to bring it back because of the history that it contributes to the park and the beauty that it also brings to the park. This is a $7,900 amendment for extra engineering because we got to reroute all the sidewalks inside and they have to be staked. And that's basically the story of this particular amendment. Right now, we're sitting at $80,000 in its entirety. In the future, going forward, we're going to be working with garden clubs and 4-H's like we're doing in other parks, even in Warnaco over at the Chatfield Garden. But we got to get there first.
Right. All right, good. It's a good program to bring back. I appreciate your leadership there, Director. Thank you. Administrator Dorado, do you want to acknowledge any of the question about the potential savings as a result of going to moving from an all mail into a hybrid kind of situation?
Of course, Chairman, thank you. Last year, our office spent close to $700,000 alone just on seasonal employee salaries and overtime for our staff. And that was above and beyond what our normal intake of vote by mail ballots would be. So that is where our expenses, the overwhelming expenses of the election board came from to administer elections during the COVID pandemic. Our office did receive CARES funding reimbursement from the State Division of Elections for our expenses attributed to our elections last year. And in addition, I was awarded a $1.1 million grant from a nonprofit organization that also assisted in many of our expenses in running last year's election. So while I can't speak for the county clerk's office, that's just a portion of a savings that we'll see in ours.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Administrator Dorado. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
All right. I think we're finished with that first